deserve privacy, and you don't deserve basic human respect. You actually deserve this. No one in this world owes you anything, not even someone that you chose to make famous by following them. So many people demand for people with platforms or with massive fan bases to be more human, and then when they are more human by showing emotions such as anger or sadness or depression, they start doing human things, and people are like, but not like that. What do y'all want? It makes no sense. Make it make sense. I'm obviously nowhere close to being super famous, but I do have a platform, and I knew that for me to continuously pursue being on a platform, it would come with people who are constantly criticizing how I look, how I talk, my content, my weight, everything. I know that that comes with it, but it doesn't make it okay. I don't come to your work at, I don't know, Chase Bank, go up to you and be like, I just wanted to take out some cash. But also while you're at it, I really hate your shirt and you're also kind of fat and low-key your voice is kind of annoying. Like that's literally how it is. I think in general there's also just this weird picking and choosing of which celebrity
would they go and do
gets
that
to be
in their
more
faces
human.
if they wasn't
Certain
behind
celebrities
the
are
screen?
allowed to have families and date and make mistakes, but then when it's a K-pop idol, then it's considered too
taboo.
much. And it's crazy that I even have to talk about like this is how we have sympathy and empathy for people with platforms, because then the conversation immediately stirs away from you deserve this because you signed up for it to then, well, I don't feel bad because they have money.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
Which I get. Money can solve many things, and I would rather be in tears in a Bugatti because then maybe my situation would be seen as a little bit better, you know what I mean? But also at the same time, how can certain celebrities get mental health help and use that money to hire a therapist when they're constantly being shamed for being angry or displaying emotions, or the fact that mental health is still kind of a taboo, especially in the K-pop industry? If these K-pop idols are constantly getting their resources taken away, or if they're deemed as basically unstable people for even having a girlfriend or smoking a cigarette once, and who knows how the world would react if they wanted to get help. I've seen so many people trying to get help or showing signs that they do need help, and they're just labeled as crazy, they're labeled as a hazard to other people, and then when the famous person or influencer or whatever ends up harming themselves or getting into danger or even sadly passing away, oh my gosh, we had no idea that this would happen, when literally all the signs were there.
For real.
Unexpected surprise. And by unexpected, I mean completely expected.
And then they'll be like,
let me hit on you, send you certain text messages and threads every single day of your life, and I'd be like, I did not know that was the outcome.
Myself. It's time that we actually start to
like hit on all your vulnerable points, hit on all your like, you know, and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. I never knew she would do that.
There has been kind of a larger conversation around just celebrity culture in general and how it's fading away. A lot of it is because a lot of people are just tired of celebrities and influencers and stuff, but I personally think a big part of it is also because people are disinterested in the amount of work and give and take relationship that is the celebrity and fan relationship. People want things to be more intimate. People want things faster. I mean, if you look at TikTok, things are very intimate and faster. Privacy doesn't really exist anymore. Everyone shares everything all the time. What they wear, what they eat, their skincare routine, their self-care routine, their favorite things, the things that they hate. It's just extremely invasive, and this invasion has become super normalized to the point where people not only expect that from just people with platforms, but they especially expect it from people like Chaperone, like K-pop idols, just these artists who are deemed as mysterious because they refuse to give the general public a super intimate view of their lives and what they're into and what they don't like and everything, because we're so used to oversharing that so when someone doesn't overshare, it's like people almost get personally offended, which is really strange. And it also just explains why people in general in society have become more entitled and rude, but that's a whole nother video for another day. It's a very strange dynamic because it's like we demand accessibility to these people, but then when they give us too much access, then we use information against them. People will warp what they've said to fit their own narrative. So in a weird, warped, twisted way, celebrities and people with platforms have to be accessible, but also like this fabricated accessibility, because if they were too accessible, that would start problems, but also if they weren't accessible at all, then that would also start problems. So it's just hard. I mean, I'm nowhere super famous or anything, but I am someone with a platform, and as someone with a platform, I've struggled with this myself, of like, how accessible should I make myself? Thankfully, my fan base isn't like that, and I really love you guys, and I think it's really cool that I have cultivated a fan base that is very neutral in a lot of their stances. They're willing to hear me out, give me benefit of the doubt and grace. I think that's also because I am not afraid to share how I feel, and when I am going through something, I do tell you guys.
Why do I keep not recognizing that it's
perfect, and you guys know that I'm not perfect. I don't preach perfection, and I'm also not in an industry that requires me to be perfect, but I'm also not gonna lie and be like, I don't feel pressure to be perfect at all, because that has happened and I do feel pressured, and I have been scared in the past to open up about certain things, and sometimes to this day I still struggle with that, with withholding information, withholding accessibility from fear of how people will respond. Nowadays you just don't know, because there has been times where people switch up on you, especially in your own audience. I've seen it with my own audience, where they up fast or get offended over something you've been talking about for years, and you're like, what the? I thought we were friends. I am confuzzled. But that's just how the internet is nowadays. Very unpredictable. The smallest things trigger people nowadays. People expect you to be super chronically online and to be up to date on the latest villain or the latest cancellation. Did you know that the CEO's uncle's twice removed cousin's stepson, monkey's niece, asked for red sprinkles at an ice cream shop instead of blue? And you having that water bottle is a slap in the face to that monkey. I am at a loss for words, babe. Like, what? Was I supposed to know that? Some of y'all be on the internet anyways. So something small like that can trigger people to like make a massive hate train towards you, or drag you and make assumptions about your character and stuff, especially when it's unintentional or you didn't have enough knowledge at the time of whatever it was that you partook in or bought or whatever. If something that small and unintentional can cause that backlash, I can only imagine why people would be terrified to share if they have a partner, if they're going through something mentally. So I can only imagine how much more hard it is for someone who is supposed to embody literal perfection as their job 24/7. And how tiring that is. There's only so much an idol can do as an idol, because an idol is an ideal. It's supposed to be perfection. The word idol is literally an image or representation of a god as an object of worship. Okay, this is a person or thing that is greatly admired, loved, and revered. That is insane. That is crazy. That's like the second commandment, bro.
Yeah, but I never break the sixth commandment, dude.
These people are beyond.
That's the only reason I did not like
that many
word
celebrities
for them. They should change that word, honestly.
Are put on. K-pop idols are looked at as gods, bro. That is how perfect they're expected to be. But they are just a human, and that is okay. The fact that they get close to being perfect already is insanely impressive. So for people to drag them for what lipstick they wear, their partners, even when their partners aren't even problematic, for having like children and just being human, the fact that that triggers people because it gets rid of the godlike image they have of them, and it supposedly reduces their aura to being a mere mortal, even if they are an impressive one. They're still human. And bro, they're allowed to do human things, especially if it's not harming anyone or anything. Also, y'all are the ones who make them famous and put them on the pedestal and put them in that godlike position in the first place. So why are y'all tripping when they don't meet that crazy expectation? But even then, toxic fans will be like, yeah, that's right. We're the reason you're famous. So you have to listen to us and do what we say. So you're not allowed to do this because we pay your bills. Is that not giving the same vibes of a narcissistic mother telling you, I brought you into this world and I can easily take you out of it? Bruh, low-key, I just triggered myself with that one. Anyways, but literally same wording, different font. Even if their job is made out to be like, you have to be an idol, you are everything, you have to be perfect. No one can do that. Not even with a bunch of money, with a bunch of fans or anything. No one, because we're all just human. We're not a Tesla robot, okay? And even then, those are flawed.
What kind of shoes are you wearing? Are those Skechers?
Preach.
Well, they're kind of a part of my feet. I don't want to give you the shoe size. I'm a little self-conscious about that.
I didn't even know Tussle have like any.
Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Anyway, yeah, I think that situation is absolutely crazy. Even though this happened a while ago, I think we could still apply it to some things today. That's actually insane. But that's all I gotta say, honestly. So, bye! If you saw me scream, cry, or collapse, no you didn't. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Or don't, but just know, Bang Jen would want you to. Stay chaotic, loud, and stay weird. Please stay subscribed, I'm sorry. Yes.